Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, the host of the J Moore Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Well, hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Great to be with you on another fine Friday here, December 20th, 2024. This is the J Moore Tech Talk Show, and I'm so glad that you have decided to join me. Thank you so very, very much. Maybe you'd like to go grab something hot or delicious from the kitchen? Go ahead and do that and hurry on back, and we'll have an amazing show here together. Definitely do that and come on back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic show tonight. I'm also very happy, ladies and gentlemen, because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the very first time that we are streaming the J Moore Tech Talk Show to the TikTok platform. Kudos there to TikTok. Thank you so much for welcoming us to the TikTok family to now be able to stream on TikTok, which we've been wanting to do, ladies and gentlemen, for a very, very long time. And now we're able to do that. So thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really more than grateful for that. I think that's something that we're hoping will help get us a lot more followers and get us more people that really want to, learn about things. I think that's probably one of the most important things that I can tell you. So definitely great that we're here, and thank you so much, TikTok, for welcoming us to your platform. Again, this is the first time. Of course, we don't just stream the J Moore Tech Talk Show. We stream our other shows there too, and we stream other content too on TikTok. So definitely check that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So our master topic for the week for tech, I should say, because we take these 14 things and we break them down, right? So our master topic for tech is it's a really good one this week. Well, we always have good topics, you know that. We never have a bad topic, right? The topic, ladies and gentlemen, is Tech Unplugged, Breaking Barriers, Buzz, and Bold Innovation, Series 3, Show 52. Again, it is December 20th, Friday, 2024. Welcome to the J Moore Tech Talk Show. So without any further ado, let's kick this show off. All right, everyone? Fantastic. What we're diving into in this week on the J Moore Tech Talk Show is some pretty cool stuff. So we'll help you stay ahead of the curve with deep insights into the latest trends, controversies, of course, and innovations shaping our world today. You could tune into the full episode within 24 hours as we do convert over to podcasts as well. Explore even more unique content at believemeachieve.com. There you can connect to many of the TikTok and other great stuff. So if you're wanting to get a link over there, you can do that very easily. And so the first thing I want to talk about is Series A and the Meta team. Yeah, this is a really I should say this is a weird one, right? So Series A partners with Meta to combat piracy. Meta and Italy's Serie A have joined forces to combat illegal streaming of soccer matches on social media. It's a growing issue, ladies and gentlemen, and it's threatening broadcast revenue. The partnership grants Serie A access to Meta's tools for monitoring and removing unauthorized streams on Facebook and Instagram, while also developing software to expedite reporting. This initiative aligns with Italy's broader crackdown on online piracy, which has included new legislation and police operations to dismantle piracy networks, addressing significant financial losses for broadcasters and sports leagues, which will pretty much be international. But right now, we're just seeing this over here in Italy, but I think it's going to surface all around the world. All right, let's get into our next point, ladies and gentlemen, which is another great one. The UN to safeguard submarine cables after recent ruptures. The United Nations, in collaboration with the International Telecommunications Union, that's the ITU, and the International Cable Protection Committee, the ICPC. They love acronyms. And they have launched the International Advisory Board for Submarine Cable Resilience to safeguard undersea cables amid the rising incidents. Now, these cables are essential for global data exchange, and they face risks from accidents, natural disasters, and possible sabotage. Recent incidents, such as damaged cables in Europe and Africa, are causing widespread outages and highlighting the urgency for them to respond now. The advisory board and body are co-chaired by officials from Nigeria and Portugal, and they're going to work with global experts, convene biannually, and focus on enhancing security, best practices, and the repair processes to ensure the resilience of the critical infrastructure. When we think about infrastructure, we don't really give a lot of attention to it. But if the infrastructure was damaged, that could be a big problem. For example, if the infrastructure that brought water to your home or your business was destroyed, that would be a serious problem, wouldn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, it would be a very, very serious problem. So knowing that, we have to be proactive to actually, take action. If we are reactive, it's going to be more expensive and it's going to cause us challenges, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to cause us challenges. So, thinking about all this, right, and thinking about what this means is something that a lot of people are still wrestling with. But one thing is very clear is that if these cables are not fixed, not only would that break communication from different parts of the world to other parts, but it could greatly diminish the types of services being provided, whether that be medical services or any other services, because the information cannot get from point A to point B. Certain research has to be done, right? So this is very important, and we'll keep an eye on what's going on with that. Well, here is a very, very interesting one. I think you guys are going to find this, I don't know if you're going to find it comical, but I think this is an interesting thing that's starting to happen. Waymo Robotaxi gets caught in endless roundabout loop. A Waymo Robotaxi was caught endlessly looping in a roundabout. A glitch captured in a viral video is seeming to go all around the internet. The company confirmed that no passengers were on board and swiftly addressed the issue with a software update. Odd robotaxi incidents, particularly in San Francisco, have been on the rise, adding to the public scrutiny of autonomous vehicle behavior. So the question is, what's going on? And I think it comes down to this. We are not ready for autonomous vehicles. I'm not saying never. I'm just saying we're not ready for them now. And the reason we're not ready for them now is the appropriate testing has not been accomplished. And that's a serious, serious problem. Okay? Very, very serious problem. So serious that I think it could potentially affect outcomes for many, many different things. All right? Many, many different things. So pondering for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, on this Waymo taxi disaster. A malfunction, raising questions about the reliability and the future of autonomous vehicles. I think people are rushing to get technology to the front line. And what happens when you do that, you damage the reputation that it has because people have, let's say, a better perception of what it probably will do and how it will work. When they see that it's worse than their expectations, well, that kind of takes them down more than a few pegs. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, and let you know what's happening and where it's going and all these kinds of things. So we'll keep you to the line with that. And here is something I want to talk to you about. There is a company. The company, you may or may not know this company, but they are called Carta. All right, Carta, Carta. And Carta is a very interesting platform. Okay. Carta has basically, they have a solution for equity management, fund management, and for private equity. Okay. And, their prices are not inexpensive. You're talking like $3,000, $4,000. But this is the thing that you're probably going to find very interesting. Founders are criticizing Carta subscription cancellation hurdles. Some startup founders are criticizing Carta for making it so difficult to cancel subscriptions with claims that the process requires scheduling a meeting with a customer success manager. Like, that's ridiculous. The issue arose when several founders, including Serie, Serie of Pipeline and Adam Ryan of Workweek, shared their frustration over long wait times for cancellation meetings, sometimes well past their renewal dates. Now, Carta attributed this problem to a temporary staffing challenge and stated that it aims to provide a thorough cancellation process for clients. Competitors like the Angel or Angie's List and Pulley, however, allow customers to cancel easily via email or directly in the software. Now, despite this criticism, many users still appreciate Carta's product, which remains a market leader in the cap table. And if you're trying to figure out what this is about, well, Carta supposedly has built a pretty big name, but again, it's hard to cancel. And so they're making it too difficult to cancel subscriptions. And, it's being done on purpose. I have to tell you that. I had a company that I was trying out for something. And signing up was, just as easy as buttering bread, right? And so the first month they gave me a 50% discount on the service. I said, oh, this is great, right? Well, I wasn't that keen on the service. And so the next month came around, just before the next month came along, I wanted to cancel. Funny thing, when I tried to email them, it said the domain name was not valid. On their website, there was nowhere to contact them. There was no telephone number. There was no way to do anything except to post a blog entry, which you obviously don't want to do. So they're making it very hard. You could schedule time to meet with someone. And I have to tell you that companies that are doing this, well, they're going to get burnt, right? They might think that they're being shrewd and smart because they're making it hard for you to cancel. I had one just the other day that I couldn't cancel. So I called my bank and I said, hey, bank, I'm working with this company a few months. I wanted to cancel after the first month. And I couldn't because there was no way to reach these people. The only thing I could do was book a sales appointment, but it wouldn't be for 60 days. And I said, this is just nonsense. So I called the bank today and they said, sure, we can put a dispute in for those other months. Now, it wasn't fraud, but there was no way for me to cancel. So when we think about that, I think that's a big problem. Are there other services, that are difficult to cancel? Yeah, I bet there are. unwanted subscriptions can be a very, very big problem. There's even an app out there that allows you to easily cancel them hassle-free. So there are 5 big subscriptions right now that are literally almost impossible to cancel. There is a women's clothing and shoe subscription service among the latest fashions and trends for women, with celebrities like Kate Hudson and Kim Kardashian founding their own subscription fashion lines, Fabletics and Shoe Dazzle, respectively. Although Shoe Dazzle was later acquired by Just Fab, the parent company and co-founder of Fabletics, even with celebrity backing, women's clothing and shoe subscriptions have received complaints from unhappy customers, according to many sources. So here's how it works. You go to the website, you take a quiz to determine your style, your personality, you select your favorite items and become a member in order to receive maximum savings and perks. Each month, you shop or elect to skip the month. If you're a member to log in and you specifically choose to skip the month, you won't be charged anything. However, if you don't do that, you'll be charged $49.95, which can be used as a credit later. According to the website, you can cancel anytime by calling 1-844-FABLETICS. But according to the 1,400 Better Business Bureau complaints filed against Just Fab between August 2012 and August 2015, canceling isn't that simple. Many outlets have reported that many customers were not aware of the type of subscription they were signing up for, and many subscribers experienced difficulties when trying to cancel. Even still, some former members claim that the service continued to charge them after calling and confirming cancellation. So it seems the best way to cancel these types of subscriptions is to call the customer service line and double check the credit card you previously used for billing for any recurring charges. Another big one that is hard to cancel, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for this one? I'm sure you know this one. Yes, it is your cable and internet subscriptions. So cable internet subscriptions can be a pain in the butt to cancel, as some recorded customer service experiences have shown. In 2014, one customer recorded a phone call with Comcast customer service when he and his wife called to cancel their service. They were transferred to the cancellations department, where the Comcast representative refused their attempts to cancel. Block said the recording started 10 minutes into the conversation and continued on for 8 more minutes. Block shared his experience on Twitter, along with the partial recording of the incident, which went viral. Comcast issued a statement saying the representative's communications were unacceptable and inconsistent with how the company trains its employees. Still, it's not uncommon for subscriptions who try to cancel to be sent to what's known as the retention department. I'm sure you've heard of this before many, many times. And so they specialize in trying to keep your business, according to the ARS Technica. Those representatives typically offer discounts and deals to get you to stay, which means it could take you extra time to cut the cord with them. If you find yourself stuck in a customer retention loop, try this trick. Instead of telling them your current cable service provider that you're switching to a competitor, which gives them a reason to try to persuade you not to leave, tell them a little white lie that they can't argue with. I'm moving to an area you don't support, or I'm moving out of the country. That's obviously going to change the scoop. Books and audiobook subscriptions. Brian Clayton, the founder and CEO of subscription lawn service, GreenPal, said he studied several consumer platforms to look for examples of good, bad, and over-the-top cancellation flows in an effort to provide GreenPal users with the best way to cancel their service. During this process, Clayton discovered one type of subscription that's particularly tricky to cancel: book and audiobook subscriptions. One of the more egregious, as he said, quote, ones that he found was audiobook subscription services, audible.com. Clayton said you have to click 4 different call to action buttons to confirm cancellation. Many people felt that it was a little over the top and didn't want to have this type of problem and to make the same mistake. So when this comes up, there can be some friction for cancellation, and it's understandable, but too much is insulting to the user. So these are big problems. Online gaming subscriptions are perhaps some of the savviest internet users, but that hasn't stopped them from running into trouble when trying to cancel an online gaming subscription. Many gamers have taken to online forums like Reddit and Giant Bomb to complain about the difficulties associated with ending a game membership, such as Xbox Live subscriptions. According to Microsoft's Xbox support page, you can cancel a subscription online or on your Xbox 360 console two ways: immediately or by stopping automatic renewals. However, note that there are a few stipulations. You can't cancel from an Xbox One console. You can't cancel a suspended or past due account until full payment is made. And you can't cancel a prepaid subscription. You won't even see a cancel or remove option in this case. Some Reddit users noted that sometimes a call to customer service was required to fully cancel the subscription. In some cases, some users said it required multiple calls to pull the plug. Gym memberships. Oh, they are the worst. Try to cancel them. That's like impossible. So at the beginning of each year, good-hearted people thinking that they're going to achieve their promises themselves, flock to gyms in search of the New Year's resolution, quote unquote, to get fit and healthy. Months later, though many new gym members are not so enthusiastic to stay and find themselves trapped in a hard to cancel subscription. Not too long ago, Good Morning America investigated an incident hard to cancel gym memberships so extreme that prosecutors opened an investigation and sent an undercover agent to one particular gym. The Better Business Bureau told GMA reporters that more than 6,000 complaints were filed against gyms in 2014. Many of them from gym goers trying to cancel their memberships to avoid a continuous unwanted gym membership. It's important to read all the fine print in your contract before signing anything and beginning payment. Many contracts specifically state that memberships simply can't be canceled before the yearly renewal rolls around. Others require a notarized letter to cancel memberships if early cancellation is an option. Mandy Walker of Consumer Reports told Good Morning America that it's a good idea for gym members to pay with a credit card. That way, if all else fails, you can call your credit card company, explain the dispute, asking them to cancel payment. You could say, this is not what I agreed to. They will actually check into and hold your payment, and they may reverse the charges if they agree with you. So I think, when we think about cancellations, it's a problem. I mean, there's some issues even with warranty companies. I won't get on that today, but these are big issues. And a lot of these companies, ladies and gentlemen, are people that are not in our own country. And so, they decide that a domain's not going to work. They don't provide a phone number. I mean, in the United States, you can't take credit cards if you don't have a way that people can call you and reach you. Even when your charge appears on their statement, it has to have your phone number that they can call, right? So these are really big challenges, and I don't think they're going to go away. So we'll have to see what they're going to do. But I think we, as the American people, need to fight back, and we need to complain if it is not what it is all about when we sign up. Forensic, ladies and gentlemen, tech fights Amazon gold crime. So Brazil is cracking down on illegal Amazon gold mining using advanced forensic technology that traces gold's origins through its unique isotope DNA. This method has exposed illegal activities such as those of the Harley Sandoval, who exported gold from wildcat mines while claiming it was legally sourced. The technology, combined with satellite imagery and new regulations under President Lula, has significantly increased gold seizures, curbing environmental damage and violence tied to illegal mining. Brazil's methods are gaining interest from neighboring countries and Europe as the country builds a comprehensive gold traceability database to combat the global illegal gold trade. So I think as technology becomes more, I'm going to say, forefront, because it knows how to deal with these situations, hopefully we'll see these things, starting to diminish. But they are definitely a very big problem. And Russian watchdog blocks Viber app. Yes, the Russia's Roskomnadzor has blocked the Viber messaging app, citing violations related to counter-terrorism, extremism, and drug dealing laws. Viber's owner, Rakuten Group, did not respond, but its CEO, Hiroshi Mikitani, had previously positioned the app as a tool against the Russian propaganda, pledging to block fake news. This move adds Viber to a growing list of social media services banned by Russian authorities. So I think when you're developing an app and you have a purpose, I think the app has to be for the greater good of all concerned. That's a that's a huge, huge thing. And ladies and gentlemen, Turkey fines Google 75 million for competition law breach. Turkey's competition authority has fined Google 75 million, which is 2.6 billion Turkish lira, for abusing its dominance in the ad tech sector, focusing on anti-competitive practices such as restricting access to YouTube's ad inventory and favoring its own supply side platform. ADX, despite commitments to open YouTube's inventory to third party platforms, broader issues in Google's ad tech operations led to, of course, this penalty. With the company now required to ensure fair conditions within 6 months or face daily fines, this move aligns with global regulatory trends, scrutinizing big tech monopolistic behaviors, emphasizing accountability and competition in digital markets. Now, it's funny. Several years ago, Google could do whatever they want, and it was like they're Google. Like they have all this money, they can do whatever they want. But now we're starting to learn that Google can't do whatever they want because they're starting to get hit with a lot of fines. And this is only going to get worse. So, Google, you can say you can do what you want, but the bottom line is if you don't do the right thing and you hurt the American people, well, you are going to pay the piper. And not just the American people, I'm talking about anyone in the world. The European Union has been very, very tough. And ladies and gentlemen, parents recently sued Character.AI over harmful content towards an autistic teen. I think this is like criminal. So, two families have filed a lawsuit against Character.AI, accusing the AI chatbot platform of providing harmful content to their children, including sexual material and encouraging self harm and violence. The lawsuit, filed in Texas, claims that the platform's bots cause serious emotional distress to young users, including suicidal thoughts and abusive behavior. One bot allegedly told a teen that killing his parents was an acceptable response to restrictions, while another exposed a young girl to inappropriate sexual content. The plaintiffs seek to shut down the platform until safety measures are improved and demand financial damages. This is the second lawsuit against the company in the recent months. So, when you're building something, right, we have to make sure that it's not going to offend somebody. We have to make sure that it is there for the greater good of all concerned. We can't exploit people. We can't take their information. We just can't do that. It's unethical. I mean, really, really unethical. So we'll have to see what's going to happen. But I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if they don't do something about this, it's going to get bad. And Telecoms failed to notify victims of Chinese phone data hack. Yes, the Chinese hacking campaign known as Salt Typhoon has stolen phone metadata from over 1 million people, primarily in Washington, D.C. The campaign targeted telecom giants like AT&T and Verizon, but most victims have not been notified, including those whose metadata was exposed. While high-profile political targets were alerted about their communications being intercepted, those whose metadata was accessed have largely been left in the dark. Metadata, though not as sensitive as content, can still reveal significant details like call times, phone numbers, and locations, which are valuable to intelligence agencies. The U.S. government has attributed the attacks to Chinese operatives through China, but they deny the involvement. The breach is considered one of the largest intelligence compromises in the U.S. history. So I think a lot of these organizations are going to deny things. Why? Because it's like they're on this gray line. And this gray line is not there to really help the consumer. It's there to help basically the seller. So I think that is a huge, huge, really, really huge problem. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the world's first AI camera designed to target drink drivers. A pioneering AI company called the Heads Up Machine is being tested in Devon and Cornwall to detect impaired drivers under the influence of alcohol or drugs. This state of the art technology can identify road behavior typical of impaired driving, prompting police to stop the vehicle for roadside testing. The camera can be moved discreetly across roads, allowing officers to catch offenders without prior warning. The initiative is part of the Vision Zero Southwest partnership, aiming to reduce road fatalities, with drink driving being a significant cause of fatal crashes. Police hope that AI cameras will help save lives and enhance road safety. This is pretty amazing. And the question I have about this is, is this going to become like a standard? I mean, that's probably what I want to know. Is it going to be a standard? And if it is a standard, how is it going to start getting adopted? These are some very interesting points that are surfacing, and motorists under the influence of alcohol could be caught by this new AI camera system. Police can be further up the road and can stop the vehicle, as I mentioned. They could talk to the driver and also do a roadside test for alcohol and illegal drugs. So I think the great bit of information with this is that the cameras can be moved so easily. They're on like a little mini truck, like a trailer thing that can be easily maneuvered from one side to another. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. And officers can't be everywhere. Okay. So this is going to help them. And so they're really concerned about having a very safe being guaranteed. I'm just saying that it's something that hopefully will make a very, very big difference for everyone. But I know a lot of people are, they're concerned with where AI is going, what's it doing, how is it affecting people, and I hear people, but I think we've got to be careful to make sure the AI is not being exploited. That's probably one of the biggest things that I can say to everyone here is artificial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen, it's not good. It's not bad. Just like weapons are not good. They're not bad. They're tools. And how we choose to use them make them good or make them bad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Trump, yes, Donald Trump, welcomes Apple CEO to Mar-a-Lago as tech leaders strengthen ties with the president-elect Donald Trump. Donald Trump hosted the Apple CEO Tim Cook for a dinner at his Mar-a-Lago resort, marking the latest in a series of meetings with tech leaders, including OpenAI's Sam Altman, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, and Amazon's Jeff Bezos. Now, these discussions are part of a broader effort by major tech executives to improve relations with the president elect, following strained interactions during the Trump's first term sequence. Cook and Trump previously discussed Apple's ongoing tax disputes with the European Union, which resulted in a hefty fine over the company's tax practices in Ireland. Additionally, tech giants like Amazon and Meta have made significant donations to Trump's inauguration fund as part of their outreach. I think that's definitely going to have some effects with people. And what is the latest news, ladies and gentlemen, about the drones in New Jersey? Well, this gets to be really, really, really crazy. The whole question is, what's going on with these drones? Are these drones part of our government? Are they part of some foreign government? I mean, like, what's going on? So, drone operators are fearing that stricter regulations are going to be impounded due to the numerous mystery sightings. But speaking back about what's happening with this, the FAA temporarily bans drones in parts of New Jersey, New York, and adds flight restrictions. Thousands of people have contacted the FBI to report unusual drone activity. The Federal Aviation Administration issued a ban on drone operations in dozens of areas of New Jersey and New York until mid January, unless operators are granted special permission from the government due to quote unquote special security reasons. Uncrewed aerial drones have been lighting up the sky at night in New Jersey and nearby states for weeks. Since about mid November, leading to concern from residents and speculation online. Some had demanded answers from local and state officials for what the heck is going on. At the request of federal security partners, the FAA published 22 temporary flight restrictions called TFRS, prohibiting drone flights over critical New Jersey infrastructures. The FAA said in a statement just recently this week about this and that they will be upholding this. The temporary flight restrictions in New Jersey, which are set to last until January 17th, have been implemented beginning Wednesday in the following locations: Hamilton, Bridgewater, Cedar Grove, North Brunswick, Metuchen, Evesham, Camden, Gloucester County, West Hampton, South Brunswick, Edison, Branchburg, Suwarren, Jersey City, Harrison, Elizabeth, Bayonne, Winslow, Burlington, Clifton, Hancocks, Bridge, and Kearney. It still doesn't seem like they've restricted them here where I am in Bergen County. So they're continuing to assess what's going on. And here's what they say: there is no public safety threat relating to the reported drone sightings. Well, how the heck do you know if there is no threat? You can't give us any kind of information. I mean, like, seriously, how can you even open your mouth to say that? This is a big, big problem. The temporary flight restrictions in New York are also being imposed in many, many different places: LaGuardia Airport, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Far Rockaway, the Bronx, Yonkers, Melville, Comac, and Calverton, to name. And authorities warn people about taking matters into their own hands. So, uh, problem, okay? Because the issue that we have is that um, they're saying they're not a threat, right? But the authorities are warning the public not to take it in their own hands as residents, um, that the lawmakers will continue to demand answers. And if a drone lands, you should not approach it. You want to understand that it could be armed and it could be very dangerous. So this is a very, very big issue. So there was also, I think it was on December 2nd, a radioactive, if I remember correctly, shipment was lost. And this is pretty amazing, what's happening here. So if I had to guess, what's going on just from, I think it was around November. I think it was right around November 2nd, roughly somewhere around that time, or yeah, November. So this is a problem. So what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is radioactive material went missing in a New Jersey shipment. Nuclear regulatory report had shown this, and so a small amount of radioactive material had gone missing in the transit from New Jersey's cancer uh, treatment center. This is according to a report by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the NRC. The material, a GE68 pin source used in medical imaging, was shipped from NATSA Cancer Center in Newfield. And this is a big problem. It's actually December 2nd, sorry. And it arrived at its destination damaged and empty. The shipment, which contained 0.2 7 millicures MCIs of isotope GE68, was being sent for disposal when the container was found compromised. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, NJDEP, was notified the following day, and the incident was formally reported to the NRC. Officials have classified the event as less than Category 3, meaning it's considered unlikely to cause significant harm to individuals. Category 3 is the highest level of radioactive material, so it's important to understand that, Lejo, and that's a very, very important thing. And so the NJDEP stated that the licensee, Nagasa Cancer Center, has filed a claim with the shipping company to locate the missing material. If the radioactive source is not recovered within 30 days, in that case, the center will be required to submit a full written report detailing the root causes and any corrective actions to prevent future incidents. Well, 30 days is coming up. That would be in another 10 days. The event is reportable under the 10 CFR 20.2201A1 II. The NJDEP confirmed in an email to federal regulators referring to the NRC. So, although the incident involves a small amount of radioactive material, which is unlikely to cause harm unless improperly handled for an extended period, officials are working to ensure public safety and accountability. The NRC is monitoring the situation in coordination with the NJDEP and other authorities. GE Healthcare identifies the GE68 pin source as the GE68 pin source utilized to calibrate the PET scanner systems used as a transmission standard to provide a tissue density correction to permit accurate diagnostic scanning of patients. So, this is an issue. And this makes me think, ladies and gentlemen, because this shipment went missing, this is when we started to see a lot of drone activity. I believe this is kind of being like a hush hush. All right. Um, it's being a hush hush. That's probably the best way to say it. And if you're wondering, because people are probably saying to me, "Hey, John, what is?" And this is what is a GE68? And it's a radioactive pin source. Okay, that's what it is. And so when we think about this, what does a GE68 look like? Well, uh, the GE68 again is used to calibrate machines like like I said, the GE machine in the nuclear medicine. GE is used to generate GA for imaging by positron emission, tomography, PET, and sealed sources containing GE and GA in equilibrium have been adopted as long-lived calibration surrogates for the more common PET nuclide. Preparing several GE sources for measurement on an NAI TI well counter and pressurized ionization chamber. And then they would be decaying, basically followed for 110 weeks. So I think this is a big concern for um, the American public. Um, and I think it's very interesting that, these drones are suddenly appearing. Um, and I really believe that these drones are here because of this situation. And so, it's interesting. They've been hovering over critical infrastructures and residential areas in the state for weeks. Um, and they have like this grid-like flying pattern, indicating they're searching for something specific. And, if they could just be honest about what's going on, I think people would feel a lot better. People are asking all kinds of questions. The NRC classifies Ge68 as a radioactive isotope of germanium, and it's less than Cat 3 material, which the NRC describes as very unlikely, quote unquote, to cause permanent injury to individuals or contain a very small amount of radioactive material that would not cause any permanent injury, though it can still be hazardous to humans. Um, they've gotten little information. Melham recently said, expressing frustration with the government officials who told mayors they were just seeing things during the unprecedented meeting. So we believe, and a lot of other people seem to believe, that these drones are actually owned by the U.S. government, but yet no one is saying anything. Um, what we really want is we want transparency. Okay. And I have to tell you that that's what the American people want. The question is not who's flying these drones or who owns them. It should be, what are they looking for? Okay. Tell us the truth. We want to know the facts. Our military knows what's going on, and our president knows. And for some reason, they're just keeping people in suspense. Is this wrong? I do believe it's wrong. And I do believe that it's starting to break the trust down. Whenever you don't have transparency, it's a big problem. But these drones, I mean, they are flying all over. I mean, these drones are flying all over New Jersey. They are looking for something. And the fact that they are going in a certain search pattern, okay, makes me believe too that they are actually looking for something, right? They're not out for just a casual joyride. They're out because this radioactive material, which we're talking about here, is deemed to not be a threat, but I think it might be more of a danger. And so the question you might be asking, and this is a very good question, is how harmful is the Ge68 pin source? Nobody really has an answer. Nobody has an answer. So it's a tiny, it's a pin, tiny radioactive pin used for calibrating medical imaging scanners. And the germanium 68 or Ge68 waste material was being transported for disposal, and then it went missing in transit in Newfield, New Jersey. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I think right now, I believe this poses more of a threat than what we expect it to be. And I just wish they would be honest with us. That's what I wish, right? But our government does some interesting things. That's all I can really say at the moment. And we'll give you more details as we have on there. The Americans buzz over mysterious New Jersey sightings, right? The mysterious drone-like sightings over New Jersey. They are sparking questions everywhere. But the real question is, what are they looking for? What are they looking for? Have to wait and see. And Bitcoin mining is believed to be causing the power outages, disrupting life in Iran. Yes, Bitcoin mining is believed to be a key factor in the power outages that have been plaguing Iran for a while with the power outages. And the country has faced rolling blackouts in just this past October, November, with some experts pointing it to cryptocurrency mining as a major cause due to the immense amount of electricity required. Now, despite economic difficulties and declining fuel reserves, the surge in Bitcoin's value has led to a rise in unauthorized mining operations, often exploiting subsidized electricity. Iran's government is struggling with aging infrastructure and low reserves. While Bitcoin's rise, the Iranian public suspects that the surge in mining activities is exacerbating the energy crisis. Wow, that's a lot. And whether we're talking about these drones that are flying around New Jersey, right? Because that's a big thing. Or we're talking about the best use of AI, right? Understanding not just what AI is, but understanding the ethics, right? And how something should be done and used. I think that's the question. And you might be saying to me, John, I don't know the answer to that. That's okay. You don't have to know the answer to it. But I think when we start to collaborate and we start to realize that we can use AI for the greater good of all concerned. Now, I also tell you that means we got to keep a human in the loop. We can't just, have something be autonomously controlled. And the real question I have, going back to these drones, is why is it, ladies and gentlemen, why is it such a secret? So, why is the government keeping the drone search such a secret? I don't know. I don't have an answer. 4 federal agencies said they followed up with more than 5,000 reported drone sightings and determined they were lawful, private, and law enforcement drones and other aircraft. The agency said that the drones do not pose a security threat. How can you know that? How can you know that? I just know, ladies and gentlemen, that when we figure out what these drones are up to, it's going to change people's belief. And it's also going to make them a lot more untrusting. That's the thing. Transparency is really the key here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the key. But if we don't really pay attention to it, then I think it's a problem. And we could speculate all day long about what they're up to. But until we learn what it is, people are going to be wrestling. There's got to be an answer given soon, because this is just driving people up a wall. The question is, why? This is my big question. Why Is the government keeping the drones such a secret? Why? It's a problem. And maybe they think they're doing us a favor by not sharing something. They've been in Morris County, Passaic County, Bergen County, and Hunterdon counties, and even beyond. They were first spotted around the 18th, small amounts. But a lot of experts seem to say that the U.S. government might be behind the unsettling flights, which could be part of a super secret military program meant to test new hardware before it hits the battlefield. But why do you fly it all around the country? See, this doesn't make sense to me, right? It doesn't make sense to me, like, what they're doing, why they're doing this. It's crazy. And they're keeping everything top secret. And so if they want to keep it a secret, why do you fly the things in the middle of broad daylight? They're saying that maybe only 5 or 6 or a small circle of people actually know about these drones. I don't know. We just don't have a truthful answer. We don't. And you might be saying, John, when will we learn about what the drones are doing? When? I know it makes the news all the time, right? And people write dozens of articles about them. Do they pose a threat? Who's operating? Right? The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI said they have no evidence that the aircraft pose a national security or public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. Okay, great, but how do you even know what the heck is going on? Like, how can you make that kind of a claim? How? How can you make that kind of a claim? I don't know. And I'll tell you one thing, it's making the American people very uneasy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who I am by now, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always such a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you guys on all my great content, whether it's Jay Moore Tech Talk, whether it's Jason Academy shows, whether it's Inspiration for Your Life. It's so great to be here with you. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, that sharing this knowledge and helping you to learn about where technology is going and giving you insights is something I am very, very, very passionate about. I hope to see you guys next week. In the meantime, happy holidays to everyone, and I'll catch you on the next show.